Hello guys, today in this video we are going to go over the Ice Queen and Moonslayer spec in Sailor Piece. Measuring DPS and AoE, I will determine which spec is the superior one. This will be done by using their respective abilities 10 times each to calculate their average DPS while accounting for crits. Also, my stats have been reduced to make sure that only the specs are being tested. This video is to determine which one is stronger, not how much damage I can do. Without further ado, let's get into it, starting with the M1s. That was Ice Queen's M1, hitting an average of 563 million damage per swing. Now let's test Moonslayer's. Surprisingly, Moonslayer's M1 also hit an average of 563 million damage per swing, resulting in the first round being a tie. Next, we move on to the Z abilities, starting with Ice Queen's. Ice Queen's Z ability had an average of 2.3 billion damage, almost 4 times the amount of the M1. This ability has a cooldown of 3 seconds, meaning its DPS is 772 million. Now, let's test Moonslayer's Z ability. Moonslayer's Z ability had an average of 2.3 billion damage, mirroring Ice Queen doing the same damage. However, something to consider is the fact that Moonslayer's Z ability had a cooldown of 4 seconds, a whole second more than Ice Queen's. Taking this into account, Moonslayer's DPS is less, being 577 million, giving Ice Queen the point in this round. Next, the X abilities. Ice Queen's X ability had an average of 3.42 billion damage. With a cooldown of 4 seconds, this makes the DPS amount to 857 million. Now, Moonslayer's. Moonslayer's X ability had an average of 2.67 billion. Having the same cooldown of 4 seconds, the DPS of the X ability is 668 million. Ice Queen takes the point again. Moving on to the C abilities. Ice Queen's C ability had an average of 7.37 billion damage, and with a cooldown of 6 seconds, the DPS results in 1.22 billion, our first ability DPS to surpass 1 billion. Now, Moonslayer's. Moonslayer's C ability could not keep up with Ice Queen's, only doing an average of 5.3 billion damage. Having the same cooldown as Ice Queen's, this results in a DPS of 885 million. Ice Queen now leads by 3 points. Next up is the V abilities. You know the drill by now. Ice Queen's V ability had an average of 11.17 billion damage, alongside an 11-second cooldown resulting in a DPS of 1.06 billion damage. One thing to note here is the fact that Ice Queen's C ability actually had a higher DPS by roughly 200 million. Now, Moonslayer's. Unexpectedly, Moonslayer's V ability actually did more damage on average. hitting 13.96 billion. Even taking into account its 1 second longer cooldown, Moonslayer still has a higher DPS of 1.16 billion, an amount higher than the V ability of Ice Queen's, but not the C ability. This grants Moonslayer its second point. Finally, for the damage part of this video, the F abilities. Ice Queen's F move was able to hit 30.04 billion damage, almost tripling the V move. The cooldown being 24 seconds makes this move do 1.27 billion DPS, being a record high. Let's see if Moonslayer can clutch up one more point. Unfortunately, Moonslayer's F damage completely pales in comparison, only dealing 23.1 billion damage, a far cry from Ice Queen's 30. Having the same cooldown, the average DPS is 963 million. Despite being the last move of the kit, it was not able to reach 1 billion DPS. This leaves the points at 5-2, with Ice Queen's damage mostly overshadowing Moonslayer's. For this next segment, we will be comparing the AoE of each move alongside how long they each last, determining which is the best for AFK grinding. While we're at it, let's reset the scores. The M1s are nothing special, both of them covering about the same size. Due to Ice Queen hitting a larger AoE while staying consistent, I would give the point to them. This one also goes to Ice Queen being more consistent and more active. This goes to Moonslayer's as his does constant damage while lasting longer. This is an absolute blowout by Ice Queen, having a huge AoE, even having me turn around to show you guys how big it actually is. This point goes to Ice Queen. This round is extremely hard to judge due to the same AoE they share, but the last hit Moonslayer does gives it the edge, giving him the point. In conclusion, Ice Queen won a close 4-3 in the AoE department, but completely smoked in the damage category, winning 5-2. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to be on the lookout for C2 content, which will come out very soon. See ya.